When lawmakers go to Lansing, they make laws. Some believe too many.
Now an effort starting in the House of Representatives may be changing that. Only at 5 o'clock, 24-hour News 8 political reporter Rick Albin joins us to explain.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing to see how it plays out because the process has begun. Michigan has a lot of laws, more laws than many of the states that surround us, about 3,000 of them on the books. A group of lawmakers is looking at laws that have been on the books for a long time, for years, perhaps 100 years or more. They say they may have outlived their usefulness.
I always want to be respectful of the fact that at one point in time, the House and Senate, the legislature passed a bill that said, hey, this is a crime, and a governor signed it.
Freshman legislator Chris Affandoulis wants to be clear that lawmakers who came before him probably had good reason to pass the laws they did, but it may be time to get rid of a few of them. For example, there's a law from the 1930s that says it's illegal to trespass on an apple orchard or cranberry bog. Understandable when you consider at the time there was no broader law that more universally banned trespassing. That says Affandoulis wasn't passed until later. Others may be a little harder to explain.
It's illegal. It's a crime to embellish or dance or play the national anthem in a way that's not respectful. Now, maybe that's something that people would say, well, that's okay, that's right, but so proudly we hailed at the twilight last week. You know, Jose Feliciano sang that 1968 at the World Series in 1968, sang the national anthem. That probably was a misdemeanor in Michigan the way he sang it.
It is those kind of things that some lawmakers believe could be taken off the books, making the overall code smaller, easier to interpret and enforce. And there's no shortage of laws that make you say, what?
There's a story of a guy taking tires down the road in his car and taking them to either a dump or to sell them. It's actually illegal to do that. It's illegal to transport a Christmas tree without a bill of sale.
And that's just the beginning. Keep in mind that these were passed when somebody thought they were a good idea, and maybe they were at the time. It appears now it's time to clean the legal house. One other thing that should not be confused with sentencing guidelines. Now, those are likely also to get a look in this legislative session, just not by this group. They're looking at laws that don't quite fit the need anymore.
Yeah, speaking of which, Rick, sentencing guidelines, when that comes up, when they talk about changing them, you know, you're talking about that $2 billion Corrections Department budget. Would that have any effect on that? I mean, what are lawmakers looking at? Any cost savings there, I guess?
Yeah, with those sentencing guidelines, absolutely. And if they get to those effectively, it could happen. But these laws and what they're looking at now are more likely just to clarify and simplify. But as they move forward, they're going to look for laws and things like equity and enforcement that could result in some savings, at least on the prosecutorial side of this thing. But this one's really not the price or cost savings as much as it is to get that book of 3,000 laws down to something more manageable.
Whittle it down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Rick.
You bet.